or what's a healthy weight? What weight should men be at? Hello, everyone, and this is Hims talking uncomfortable questions. I'm your host, Cab Washington, sitting down here with the weight loss professional himself, Dr. Craig Primack. Thanks for being here, man. What are some of the factors that can affect weight in men?
So there's three things that we think about. Number one is our genetics. Number two is our age. And number three is our build, our muscles, and how much muscle we have.
What's an average weight for men, and what's a healthy weight? What weight should men be at?
So the first thing to think about is what is the average male American? And they're about 197 pounds. So that's an average weight. So if you take everybody, it would average out to that. But that might not be a healthy weight. So when we start to think about how to determine what your healthy weight is, we have a measure called a BMI or body mass index. If you know your height and your weight, you can find a calculator online to figure out your body mass index. But basically, it's only taking two factors into account. What is your height and what is your weight? There's a lot of ways people measure body fat, but those are not easily done by most of us. And so body mass index becomes that way that anybody can really do. BMI does not really say that much about you. It just gives you a classification in a general sense. If your scale says somewhere between 18 and a half and 25, we call that normal weight. If it's between 25 and 30, we call that overweight. And if you're between 30 and higher, we call that obesity. The easiest thing, and anybody can do it with their own scale at home, knowing how tall you are and a calculator, or going to your doctor's office where they will figure it out for you. And then having a conversation, is my weight in the healthy range for me? And if it's not in a healthy range, what can I then do about it?
So what are some ways that we can prioritize weight?
It comes down to many factors. To keep your weight in a good range, diet of some type, good nutrition, unprocessed or not ultra-processed foods, high protein, exercise and activity of some amount. Strength training helps a lot also. And then sleep of somewhere between 7 and 9 hours per night.
How essentially do we balance that movement, sleep, and nutrition in today's rushing world?
Focus just on what can we do. There's a whole bunch of things. The first starts with good nutrition. Having a good mix of protein throughout the day, looking at our what we call ultra-processed foods and staying away from them. When you think about what your great-grandmother looked as food, if she knows it would be food, it's probably pretty good for you. If she has no idea what it would be, we probably should stay away from them.
Yeah.
I think aiming for protein, aiming for a good amount of water per day, or staying hydrated.
Yeah.
When we get dehydrated, we actually feel more hungry throughout the day. And then again, as we talked about, focusing on sleep also. When we don't sleep, our hunger goes up.
Okay, so is it important to get that activity, that movement in the morning, middle of the day, in the evening? I know sleep is so important, but as soon as I'm doing the workout, I'm revved up. Let's stay up all night, you know what I mean? And then I'm crashing the next day. So when's the ideal time to exercise and maximize kind of that?
It really is determined by you. Some people, I'm an early morning exerciser, love to do it first thing in the morning, get it done for the day, and then I can do whatever I want. Other people you've had a really stressful day, doing some exercise in the afternoon, takes your stresses that may have built up all morning and they bring them down again. Yeah, maybe they may come up again towards the end of your day, but it was at least a good way to bring stress down. Other people, I'm done with my day. Now's the time I can, leave work or leave what I'm doing and go stop by the gym or stop by, play basketball with a bunch of friends after work. Just that's our evening activity. So at the end of the day, it's really what works for you as long as you do it.
So when we're sleep, right? Huge thing, love it myself, big fan. Is it something that you can kind of move around, or is it something that you have to kind of be consistent getting 8 every single night, or else you're going to see those effects in your weight?
If you can get 7 to 8 every single night, I think you're going to do great. There are going to be times when you don't. So there's a couple, I don't know if they're rules, but there are a couple processes to follow. Number one, trying to go to sleep and wake up at about the same time every night.
Okay.
A lot of people, we all set an alarm to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
But a lot of us should be setting an alarm to go to sleep. And then caffeine is fine, but earlier in the morning.
Yeah.
A lot of people say somewhere between 12 and 2, we should probably stop our caffeine. Caffeine has a long, what we call half-life, so it stays in our system for many hours. And if we stop it earlier, it won't affect our sleep as we go to bed later.
Well, Doc, this has been great. You heard it from him. Nutrition, movement, and sleep, the 3 factors to help you get your life and your health journey on track. Doc, this has been great. Should we move around?
Absolutely. Let's move.